Huh? Are we live now? It says we're live. Anybody can tune in now and listen to us. This
All
is the
our
start.
followers.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Internet, YouTube, RS community. Much love. We are the Chirpcast, where we just talk about things related to RuneScape. Just a fun little side project thing that I wanted to do. And we have had some technical difficulties. The thing about this is we don't. I don't know how often we'll actually get to do this because, like, just our time zone differences and the fact that I work such a weird shift, and we basically just have to wait until like the moon aligns right with the stars and the planets, and they're all in place and stuff. We actually have a third person here, but I don't think we can hear him.
I
He
believe
could be.
he's having technical difficulties.
Well, we were having technical difficulties the other day at Rots. That was fun.
That was a bit worse, I think.
Yeah.
Now he logged out, so I'm guessing he's resetting or something.
Disconnected, perhaps. Well, that's a great opportune time. Just like, like, oh, there's Jad. Oh, no, I disconnected. Oh. And you log back on, like, oh, I died. So that was basically just a gigantic waste of time. That's always a fun thing to do on RuneScape. So
Hmm.
yes, as you can tell, we're all Armadillian, right? We're all Armadillians here. I don't think all of our listeners are. That's why we
Uh,
called it the Chirpcast, really.
Gray?
and there's our third guy.
There's our third host.
I know it works.
Say
Mr.
hi,
Shreytak.
Sri. So that's Shreytak, the one that just screed. I am the Aviancy. That
Not
is
an
also my
Aviancy.
in-game name. I'm not just any Aviancy. I am the Aviancy because I have such a gigantic ego. That's what I call myself. Also, that was just a name that happened to be available, and I took it and have had it ever since. Got it like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. And I am Armaden, which there's nothing big about me really. I do
Ah,
quests
come on.
and
Come
lore and
on!
stuff.
You're selling yourself short, man. This guy,
You
like,
may have seen a
any.
thread made by me. That's really the big thing, I think.
Yes, you posted the ROP thread. That is pretty big. And Shrey is the one that normally posts the Rune Lab post for ROP that Kelpie always has to shut down right away because otherwise he's afraid that otherwise we'll promote the fuck out of it on Twitter and piss everybody off, and it'll get pushed to the top of Rune Labs, and everyone will just tell us
Yes,
to
we
shut.
do.
What?
What?
What did you say, Amelin?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Yes, we do. That's how we get it to the top, though. Except
we
when
try to
Kelpie
get it to the top.
that's when Kelpie shuts it down before it gets anywhere, because obviously it's not related to the criteria most of the time. We were only allowed up there once, and we were
Yeah, that
beaten.
went rather well. We went into the
Yeah,
poll.
it went well until we got to the poll, and we were in second to last over I don't care. Not the best result, but there's reasons for that, obviously, because one of the quests promised a very large amount of rewards.
And that's the one that's
Before
going to
they-
get made.
That's
Seems to be a
on
fun
the
quest.
way. It's gonna be. It should be good. I mean, it's in good hands.
Yup, for sure.
And for what it's worth, Rite of Passage is very likely to be made thanks to our relapse awareness.
Yes, we
Yeah.
like they know about us. They know that there's a lot of people that want to see this get into the game. So
As
we
is evident.
accomplished like basically the minimum thing that we even wanted to do. Like it would have ideally been that we passed the Rune Labs poll and just gotten it in, and we would be talking about how it's definitely going to be made and it's coming in September. But you can't always get what you want.
Yup.
And that's fine, because life is not much fun when without
go
some
perfectly.
adversity. Yeah, without some adversity and challenges. So
Yeah. And actually, I think that Seren Quest is way better than what we will be getting with the other ideas. Honestly, out of those, except ROP, out of those ideas, I would have seen
yeah,
one.
there was
The
like
Seren Quest was actually the best one of the other three, of the agility and farming guild ones.
I would have
And the
liked to have
Seren
seen
Quest,
the
I'm
farming.
happiest about Seren Quest really.
Look, like I like lore as much as the next lore hound, which, by the way, all three of us are. We all love lore in RuneScape. Like we're all pretty passionate about it here. So, I as much as I like it, we've had so much Saren stuff, an entire city dedicated to her, filled with lore. I'm not against it, like saying it should never have ever come out. Like there is still room for follow up from the Saren quest, or from Plague's End, right? But like this soon, so soon after, like we're on the way to Elfscape, and that was a joke. I know other people were thinking that of that joke. Elfscape. Everybody becomes Mod Elfborn, and we all die, or something like that. Like that's what, like that's what we're on the way to.
Elfborn is not dead. He's still alive. He just took on another form. He took on
No, I'm saying everybody turns into Elfborn. Like everybody else becomes Elfborn, and just everything explodes. Like that's how I think that's what they wanted how they wanted to end the beta for like these combat changes that we just recently got. I don't know what they're doing with the beta now. What they want to do basically is let people. I saw on a stream they want to let people play with the new Mazcab abilities.
I know Kelpie has said that there's going to be stuff they'll do in the beta. We just don't know quite what. My hope is some form of quest replaying, because they've already experimented with that, as we saw
They
with
did.
the Myreki series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really should be doing those again. I've been thinking about it, just haven't found the time.
I just never. I've been too busy with other things. Like I've lately gotten out of doing combat type of stuff. I've never done raids, so I won't really talk too much about it. If you guys want to, I mean, that's fine. But
That's an distraction.
Hard.
They are hard, from what I've heard.
You die a lot. That's raids. End of story. Or something. Armor can speak about it. How he beat Yakamura.
Yeah, how did you do that? What dark sorcery did you have to partake in to actually get that kill?
I took part in this dark ritual called Raid FC.
Oh.
So
I know about that
basically I hung out with their founder group, and then we went in together and basically got the kill.
Congratulations.
So I don't actually have any horror stories to tell, because we got the kill on the second try.
So
you kind of lucked out with Yakimaru. You probably had a very good team, and
yeah,
I imagine if like one.
I think that Arma is actually quite a pro PVM guy. I think he contributed quite a bit.
I'm sure he did. I'm not saying that he didn't, because I wasn't there and I don't know.
I survived until the end, for what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, I watched like Wooks' stream on the day of release, and he just kept getting sent back to Draenor over and over and over. He wasn't actually dying because he wised up and actually put on a ring of death, and every time he died at Yakimaru, he just got sent back to like outside of Death's office. Yeah. And I imagine he must have I didn't watch this stream long enough to actually see his ring of death run out of charges. However, I assume he had a bunch of points hoarded up, because he is, after all, well known for being very much into PVM. So I imagine he.
We're speaking about Vooks now.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking about. Well, I was, starting with how I was watching the stream.
Yeah, I heard that. I was talking in which famous PVM he was talking about. I didn't really find the name, but Vooks, he's awesome. I have this. You should know about him too on Twitter. Ambler. who's an old friend of mine. He's quite awesome PVMer too.
Oh, I saw Ambler there. Well, they were all on my world. They were all on 116. That's my home world because
Yeah,
I'm
I
stubborn
mean,
about my home worlds.
yeah, those guys, their skills really, it's quite fantastic to watch. I mean,
It's entertaining to watch for sure.
yeah, it really is impressive, I think.
I mean, I don't know much else about the guy, so I'm kind of like speculating. Oh yeah, he totally just no life's boss slayer. That's what he does. Like I just have to assume things, but I don't know what he would have done after his Ring of Death ran out. If he had enough to recharge, maybe he didn't. I don't know.
He probably had.
We should get Wooks in here to talk about it.
I have heard that he actually returned fairly recently when he heard that Raids was going to come out, that he had taken quite a break from RS3. I don't know about that, but I've seen quite a few people talk about that. I know that Ambler hasn't been that active either, but when he said that it was said that Raid was coming out, he got much more back into the game and did a couple of next solos and such things to shapen up. And then he has been pretty much raiding since then. And made bank like everyone else. On those abilities and everything.
Yeah, everybody that got the Maz Capability Codex on like day 1 got bank. Because even on day 2, I don't know how much the first one sold for, but I imagine the first one of anything sold for way more than what it even would sell for just at the end of that day. Like for example,
it's like that.
For example, like a friend of mine from a previous clan actually was like one of the first people to get those new gloves from the automatons, and he sold them for 300 mil. You ain't paying 300 mil for those things nowadays, of course.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he got super lucky because like I believe he was already a comp player or very close to it. So he was able to get into automatons on like as soon as the World Wakes came out. Like I was still doing the World Wakes when he got them. He freaked out a little bit, justifiably. So whoever got that first codex, like, first of all, like, congratulations. Second of all, I am extremely jealous of you because I need that GP. You should give it to
me. Someone made a post on Reddit. Yeah, someone made a post on Reddit where they bought the ability codex for 1 billion on day 1.
Oh.
And they basically sold it afterwards for 200 mil. They were trying to merch it, kind of failed, as you can imagine.
That is the worst mercher ever. They obviously did not make that 1 billion from merching because
I think it's just a common thing that people gamble on new items, see if they'll be worth more.
But really, what you should do is the first one who actually gets it, that person will make back, no matter if he tries to. Or she, because it could be
it could be a new bronze kite shield 2.0 or something, and they'll still make a lot of money.
Yeah, because it's something that is unique into the game. It's the first item is a Vulas Pro Prestige. I would say that max cash for the Maska abilities when they were released would be nowhere close to what it's sold for. Those can easily go for, especially as useful they are. They could easily have gone for like 5 billion plus. The first
That's in some crazy territory because I think the first Drygor sold for like max cash stack,
which is a given. He was the first tier 90 weapons.
Oh, especially that, yeah, that too. But I know like Seismic one was worth like tons and tons and tons of GP when it first came out, mainly because nobody could actually finish Virago on day of release, and it DDoSed everybody for a week. Like Virago's
on PS5.
Virago's special was kill the entire server. Nobody can kill me because I'll kill the world. I go down, I'm taking you with me.
I remember trying that. I think that on the second day, my team that I was with were on Virago. We managed to reach phase 3, and then I got on the third day, we managed to kill him, and then we got a good drop at Fu. Sadly, I would have made bank. I only got a seismic singularity once.
The only boss of that tier, which you'd say like Rots, Virago, and Raids and Araxor are kind of like on that level of PVM. The only thing like that I tried out was Rots in like handholdy safe mode, like safe practice mode. Actually, the three of us plus one of our clanmates went there, and it was all right. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, though.
No, it really isn't that hard once you kind of start to get the basics, but it's about timing and that you have to keep your eyes on basically 3 or 4 things at once. Plus that you usually have to check what your mate on your side is doing too. And yeah,
you need to be careful. And you also need to not lure Guthans away from your teammate.
Yeah.
I'm never going to let you hear the end of that Arma, by the way. That's just how it's going to go. I mean, I know what was actually... I was saying, like, no, I need to be right next to Guthan right now. He's got the spear in me. Oh, okay, Carol is now about to do his nuke, and I just got smacked to 3k, and now, okay, that's probably the end of that.
It's quite a hectic fast fight, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
people are now soloing, so we should be very ashamed.
Yeah, that's crazy. I saw that. I was just like, what is that guy even doing? What is... he looked like he had, like, sea singers and, like, just seismic. I still managed to solo that thing. I don't know how that's even possible. Because I think someone, like Wooks, I think it was, managed to solo the KK, which is supposed to be mechanically impossible to solo, but there is video of it happening. I've seen it before. It's a little crazy. It might involve some kind of glitch, or it might involve some kind of luck. Like, you just have to be lucky enough to not get hit by a certain, like the greens, because that's the reason why it's supposedly not soloable. But he totally did. Somebody totally did it.
But the greens KK is actually easier, so to say, to solo than Rots, because you can't stand the Conflict King at the right moment just before he's about to do his green, and then he will skip that special. So you just need to have 2 stuns basically for safety that you do rapidly, just at the right ticks when it's about to do it. And with some practice, you can identify that quite easily. As I've understood it, I've spoken to a few bosses about that a long time ago. Ross, however, especially when Thorax does his hammer attack, you can legally avoid it, but it's some half glitchy mechanics that might just get fixed, and then nobody will be able to solo Rots again.
See, Rots is soloable apparently if you're like just ridiculously good at this stuff.
Yeah.
But you'll never be able to solo Virago because you have to tank a 50k hit. Although, who knows? There might eventually be armor released that for some reason has like some kind of thing that lets you tank that if you're lucky or something. Like, who knows? You know? We can just invent this. Yeah, we'll just invent by adding megalith to megalith, or whatever the other tier 90 armors are called. Just add those two together and just have like level 120 tank armor. You're not following this train of thought? You don't want to go to that dark place?
I think it would actually be cool to have some really, really high HP but really, really low defense armor. That would be a very cool idea, actually.
Oh man,
that you can hit like all the time, but your HP is like 30,000.
Jeez.
That would be really cool to see.
Boosted with like Saradomin brews as well, it would just be absolutely ridiculous.
Basically, you wouldn't do any bosses in it, but it could be really good for when you just go do some Slayer toss or something that goes quite quick, and you don't care about getting hit because maybe you just get 1k hits and then they have to hit you multiple times for that amount of damage. for quite a long time, and you can just focus on the DPS meanwhile.
Hmm.
I think I'll just stick to. Like,
It's
my
just
main
random
assets.
thinking right now.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I totally encourage that here. That's totally fine.
I'm just
So
following
let's
your
just
footsteps.
speculate on Inventor then. Now that I've led us down that train of thought, it's going to be expensive, and
Yeah, I got no problem
That's
with
fine.
that.
I do. I like my GP, and I don't have enough of it yet. I'm not ready for this thing.
You need to start doing more bossing. We should totally do some more rots once I have got used to manual again.
Yeah, maybe.
We're gonna get into the pro rots clan and everything.
Yeah, we'll just host ROTS events with our clan.
Yeah,
Like, nobody can actually do other than 4 people.
Yeah,
Just
but
get 4
Inventor,
people
you
in
said.
there. But it's going to be a little bit of a while before Invention comes out, and the main way I'm making money now is just fishing rocktails, because I'm going for 120 fisher, or fishing. No. I'm going to be a noob with a lot of...
And you're quite a while away. I know, quite far.
Yes, I
into
have
that.
over... See, because I'm such a lazy fuck, I actually went and made a bunch of signs of the porter, which just... Everybody knows what they do. If you don't, it basically banks things for you, as long as you just put it on. And so I have the one that will take 30 items away before it degrades to dust. And I have 2,000 of those. So I have, no, actually, like more than 2,500 of those. So I have more than 60,000 rocktails to fish, and that's not even going to get me to 120. I'll then have to do even more fishing somewhere else. If Elf City fishing isn't out by then I'll just do Barbarian. If I decide I don't really like Barbarian, I'll just do C2. Because I think C2 fishing and Barbarian fishing are just roughly about the same. Although actually I think Barbarian fishing gets the edge with aquariums giving me that boost.
I think that Barbarian is slightly better, but if you're really pro C2, I think that's still the best, but then you need to know exactly what you're doing, and you need to
It's a bit more
be a really good
stressful.
dungeoneer too. You're really good at
Well,
dungeoneering.
I'm not. I'm not good at dungeoneering at all.
Then just go with Barbarian.
I'm competent at it, but I'm not like a DG pro or anything. Like, if I'm in like a 5-person party, I'm probably not going to let the team down. Although sometimes when I encounter levers, my brain just shuts down and decides, lol, I'm just going to walk away now. You take control now here. And somebody says 3. And that's all they say, like, on 3. 3! I was like, what? What? Oh, I'm dead. Oops. That's always a barrel of fun. Or the that weird like portals thing in the warped. I still don't understand how that works. Generally, what I just do with that one is I just keep going into random things until I just happen to come out the right side. And I just happen to come out in the center, and then it's like, oh, okay, well that's done and over with. Thank you. This stupid thing. I still don't understand that thing. There's a lot of things I don't really like about dungeoneering. It's like my least favorite thing.
What is that? The
What is
levers?
what?
The levers in DD, is that your least favorite thing?
Well, there's a lot of least favorite things about dungeoneering, but there's the levers, and then there's that weird portal thing that you get on warp floors, and then there's also Blink, which almost everybody hates. Although I actually had a friend that actually liked Blink. He actively, like, he would, you know how when you do tasks, like if you do enough of the task set, you can select a boss to spawn. He would go for Blink because he genuinely enjoyed fighting Blink. He's insane. Like, he is
That's
just
crazy. Honestly,
well, he was
if
also
you want to do that, you will put the warp floors. I can understand if people spawn that last demon boss because he drops the primal two-handed, isn't it?
I believe so,
Yeah,
yes.
I can understand if people go for that one, and I can understand people who maybe go for the Vart Gulaga. Is that how you pronounce it? Oh, yeah.
Yes. That's close enough. I think
Yeah, it's
everybody.
close enough because it's quite an interesting fight and also has an easy to avoid special. But Blink with erasing those pillars, and you basically have like what 2-3 ticks before he passes you by. So yeah, wouldn't
No,
want to have him as a fight.
but I think he's also 200 mil dungeoneering, so he was going for it, or he had well over 120. Like he already had 120, was comped at the time, but then just decided to go crazy with dungeoneering. I don't know if he ever actually reached 200 mil. I would not be surprised, but good luck finding him because I don't remember his name, and there's like 10 trillion people with 200 mil dungeoneering XP. Like if you
Just
spend
post on the
any of
forums. Does anyone like fighting Blink or Reddit
this guy,
or Twitter?
this guy'll
And
pop up.
Everyone will point you at that guy. We just go around, hang around the popular DD world, level 100 to level 120. I don't remember. Is it world 77 or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah. And ask if someone enjoys Blink with 200 mil DD XP. And they might point you in the right direction.
They'll point me at this guy.
Yeah.
He would let me leech from time to time, but I'm even bad at leeching. I'm so bad at dungeoneering that I suck even at just leeching because I'll get
Then you're
bored of
bad.
just I'll just get bored of just standing in the home room, and I'll just go do stuff. I'll just do whatever I can that I think will help get it done and over with faster. So even at leeching, I suck in dungeoneering.
That's bad.
Yeah, I don't know like if people actually get mad if you're supposedly leeching and then you start going and doing stuff. I don't see why, but some people in dungeoneering are just crazy about this stuff. They get very angry very easily, and this is why I don't dungeoneer with randoms. I want to at least have another friend with me in the dungeon, preferably also that person being the leader, so that I don't get kicked out.
Yeah,
Because
that
people
sounds
will
good.
rage, they'll rage kick, they'll rage quit. It's just, but a lot of people like it. Good for them. It's just not my thing. And I have to do it all again. I have to get 75 on my newbie account, my secondary account, which is just, I, I'm probably just gonna like lamp it or something, which would take too long realistically. Of course, I'll just eventually just suck it up and do it. It's also worth it for that imp, Like, I mean, there's good stuff about dungeoneering that I like. Basically, just the rewards. They did a very good job with that. And I'm not saying that, like, in terms of the actual training of the skill, that they did a bad job with it by saying that they did a good job with the rewards. However, I just don't enjoy it, and nothing can make me enjoy it other than free fishies.
I'll do every pitch. Yeah,
Because
free
that's one
pitch
thing
is
I
the thing.
like. That's what I like doing in there, if nothing else, is just fishing all the fish and then getting accused of leeching. No, I'm just fishing a few fish. Calm down. Like, if you need me for levers or whatever, or if you need me for any sort of room that needs the entire party, then I'll be there. It's not. Otherwise, it's not really an issue, is it?
Really, honestly, amongst the worst things you can do in modern DD teams is the skill, because people will rage at you so bad. I remember when I just for like preparation for future rooms when I was going for 120 DD, I used to harvest from the wisps and the springs, divination. And since I had spoke to a few people there that I was going for 200 mil eventually, and I had my 120 deep cape, people thought that I was skilling divination just for the experience and not to get these portents for the doors in case those was to come. and then people rage at me just because of that. So if you actually go around and fish, people are going to get so mad at you.
And this, again, is why I don't dungeoneer with randoms or with a team of all random people.
Yeah. They don't understand.
Dungeoneering with strangers, not even once. I did that a few times when I was going for like chaotics, and it was just the worst time in my life. It's actually pretty bearable if you go in with friends, but going alone, it's just like, I don't want to be here. What am I even doing here, really? But going with friends, that's always the best. I actually had good times with my friends in there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Tell me if you want to go dungeoneer sometime.
You know, I probably will have to eventually. Because I'm having these nightmares.
I'm sure Arma can go too.
I've had these nightmares about how they release a quest that requires 120 dungeoneering, or that I suddenly need 120. The only two. Okay, so the only two things in this game that I care about upkeeping for our audience, and I know I've beaten it to death with these two, but they'll have to hear it one more time because the rest of you haven't. The only two things I care about upkeeping in this game is my quest points cape and my max cape. So them doing either of those things, making it so, oh, actually now you need 120 dungeoneering for max cape. Lol, GG. That would be bad for me. Or you need a ridiculously high dungeoneering level for quests, because now at this point, like, almost everybody has like at least 110 dungeoneering, right? Okay, so have fun, quest capers. Like, oh no, please no.
A recent discussion would have it that that's not really going to happen. That was in relation to the Saren quest, in which AD is already pushing the boundaries in the Eyes of Jagex. So, like...
For now.
Yeah, if you're worried about 110, that's not going to happen for years, still.
Well, I have 106 right now, and I set a counter, or like a goal thing for 115, and I have to do 37,141,109 dungeoneering experiences to get to 115, and that's actually for Edemus, which is legitimately a good task, but by the time I finally get around to getting 115, it won't be the meta thing to do anymore. It'll just be like, oh, well, there's a new thing now. And it'll just be like, oh, okay, so I can get a blood necklace shard, and it'll be like 1 mil. Okay, cool. I could have been doing this when it was like 10 mil each. But, I'm just so stubborn about not liking DG that this is what happens. This is what happens to me a lot in game. I saw a picture on Reddit, actually, where it was so funny. Because it was, like I said, RuneScape PVM, and it said 2007. It showed a picture of a guy with like a dragon full dragon running up, and to this other guy who was wearing like a fighter torso and had a whip, and the guy on the left in the dragon was saying, "Hey, can I join you for bossing?" And the other guy was saying, "Lol, kid." And then it showed another picture of the guy in a fighter torso and a whip, and it said I think it said 2009 or something, or whenever God Wars Dungeon came out, which was 2009, 2010, somewhere in that area. But anyway, and it showed him doing that, and the other guy had a BGS and full bandos and was saying, "Lol, kid." And part of the first sentence was cut off of the guy saying, "Hey, can I no, lol, kid." And then there was another one that showed a guy in Torva, and the kid running up in bandos. He's like, "Hey, can I?" No, lol, kid. And it was the heading said 2012, and then 2015, it showed the guy running up in Torva with a scythe, and the other guy just saying "kid" before he could even say he said "can." and then it said 2016. This guy's running up with the scythe. And it's just it showed this guy on a golden horse and all golden armor with a Drygor longsword that had rockets attached to it, and in one hand, and in the other hand a Drygor mace that had been converted into a machine gun. It just had dots over the first guy's head. And And then it just said "lol kid" again over the elitist head. And then finally at the bottom it just showed like the guy with the sad face just jabbing the scythe into the giant mole, because that's all he can get into. That's me. So I totally related to that one.
Oh,
kind of picture. I might find it and get on here and post it in the description because it's that good.
It's really accurate.
I mean, it's just one of those.
It kind of shows the tires, how they have increased all the time, and now as a comp player, kind of haven't done raids, or I haven't done raids, but I've failed. That Arma noob needs to bring me to raid. Sometimes I can get comp back or something. But anyway.
Well, apparently there is a secret dark ritual.
Yeah, I know. He needs to tell me. He needs to tell me about it.
But
anyway, what I was going to.
I mean, there's a friends chat. There's a friends chat for everything too in this
great.
game. It seems. I don't know if you guys could hear that. That was my Skype going off. I don't know how much my system audio comes through, but it was especially loud because I need to disable it.
We could hear it.
Oh, it was probably echoing through my mic. That's how loud I was in.
Anyway, what I was going to say is that we really have these tires in the RuneScape PVM now, and it kind of shows a bit of the problem with that. Those who don't have the really highest amount of highest tire of gear, like Seismics or Tectonic or Serenic or Ascensions and etc., kind of get it very hard to get into proper teams, especially as for raids and so. I know there's this Raids FC and I thought about using it myself. And we have a couple of guys in the clan who have raged about it a bit. These LSTists who just go for these perfect kills and you can't get in unless you have this perfect gear and already got 5 kills. How are you supposed to get those 5 kills if you can't get into a team? And yeah, it kind of shows
Good
a bit
luck.
of a problem there. Good luck.
See, what you need to do is you need to make a lot of money so you can spend it on very expensive gear so that you can then in turn make all that money back and presumably make some more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a frustration that that you get with this game sometimes. Because I remember like Max, on my main, just playing through on the first time, just trying to get 96 herb lore. I actually had turmoil for quite a long time, but that was that ordeal all over again, just making tons and tons of money and just selling very valuable things, just like crying my eyes out as I put the my precious Ceradomin God sword on the GE, and just watching that go up in smoke to prayer. So that I could, I'll just make a lot of money and just make it back, no problem. Oh, it turns out I also need overloads, which is also, it's like 96 herb lore that I need to get. So I have to repeat the process all over again. This time, sell something else, my precious Third Age Mage Top, which I know a lot of people hate, but I don't care. I loved it, and I've never actually had it since. And now that Invention's coming out, see, I could probably buy it right now, depending on what, last time I checked, it was 140 million. It might have gone up even more, but I could probably buy it right now. But I know I would have to sell it for Invention and just do it all over again. I should make an MS Paint comic about that. Put it up on Reddit and get 500 upvotes. That might work. Although birds are kind of hard to draw in Microsoft Paint. But see, that's the whole purpose of me going for mechs, that I wouldn't have to go through that again. But troll Invention's going to be a buyable. So have fun with that. So in advance, I'm just going to make a whole lot of money and just set it aside. And just camp stuff. Do basically what the new Frost Dragons are, which is Rune Dragons, because I can't imagine Frost Dragons being worth as much as they used to be. easier to kill than Runite dragons, of course, but just camp stuff. That's what I've always been good at with making money. I just like the steady income. I don't like having to rely on getting a drop at a boss that I might rage quit eventually and just waste a bunch of time at. I would just have to just keep grinding at that boss until I finally get that seismic drop, or I finally, put that leg piece together.
Yeah, you should just come with us and Arm and me, and we'll go with some clan mates and we can grind some rots or something. Or Warrego eventually. I'm sure
Yeah,
that we can do that. Camp
That'll be a
stuff.
lot of
A lot of fun.
Should be. It's a learning process, but you got to start somewhere. And that's I guess part of the problem with like all this new content, because eventually it will get to the point where there will be more open-minded teams out there that you can get in on and finally get your raid skills in. But for now, though, or at least like as far as like the day of release and like the week of release, it's probably hard to get into a raids team. I could probably get into a raids team because I just happen to have good gear, but I just don't have the kills. But if these teams are requiring that I already have 5 kills, well, how the hell am I supposed to... I haven't gotten any kills yet. That's why I'm coming to try to find a team.
I think Waze FC is quite a good place to start. I just haven't been motivated to do that. I think that I should focus a bit more into getting into manual, then I will be going for raids and getting compact. I think that's a good plan.
See, that's also another reason I don't go for comp, because every time I look at what I need to do for comp, there's more things that I have to do that I don't feel like doing. So I just say, I'm beating the system by just not going for it in the first place. I win. All I have to care about is Maxscape and QPC, and that's it. And I actually enjoy quests. I didn't used to for the longest time, but now I do. So it's actually fun not getting to where my quest points cape. And I actually have to re-earn it by doing a new quest. And I try to make sure to do it without a guide now. Although, sorry, certain person that wants Elemental Workshop 5, no way am I doing that without a guide on day of release. I'll just wait until the day after when you and yours write the guide and just do it then. Although they kind of softened up on puzzles. I don't think they'll ever do like an Elemental Workshop 3 type of puzzle ever again.
It wouldn't surprise me if they do EV5. At least if they base it on play suggestions, it would surprise me if they kind of do something really, really hard for EV5. I would actually appreciate it. Honestly, I didn't think that the EV3 puzzle was that insanely hard.
The thing about it is, like, if I had tried to figure it out on my...
The kind of hard thing with EV3 puzzle, so to say, is that you have to really, really keep a check on a lot of different things at the same time, and you have to explore it as you go. That's the hard thing with it. But once you figure out the mechanics with those lever things and what that strange counter is, and you can actually ignore the counter after you have set that little buggy thing that scrolls like infinity times, then it's like no problem.
Yeah, you break it. You have to break that thing, and then you don't have to worry really about, not like running out of moves and having to reset the whole thing. See, it's just tedious. Like, even with a guide, there's just so many steps that you have to do just to get it right. Well, you can get it right the first time. That's what I did, obviously. I didn't screw up in pulling the right levers in the right order. It was just it's just so many times I had to do this. Like, just running from one lever to the other and to the other to the other. It just took a long time, that's all. That was the same thing with, Morning's End Part 2. It just took a long time, but if I had tried to figure these things out on my own, I wouldn't have. I just would not have done it, probably.
I honestly didn't use a guide on EV3, however I did use a guide on Morning's End Part 2. Because
that one is,
I was pretty much getting raped by those shadow monsters because I was still quite a noob. So I needed to do it quick enough so I didn't die.
Yeah. I was kind of lucky in that I kind of had a high agility level. I did the whole thing in Bando's armor, which I do not recommend if you do not have a very high agility level. Like, if you meet the bare minimum requirement of agility for that, I don't recommend wearing heavy armor like Bando's.
Can't you just search for the thing like everything else nowadays?
Yes.
Probably.
Well, I don't know if you can surge. There's like a part where you have to like cross like a ledge. Like you have to like straddle a ledge and like slide along it to like another part to get a thing. And to do
I don't remember anything about that quest pretty much when it comes to that puzzle.
It's a thing that
away from my mind.
Exactly. That's a thing that most people with Quest Points Cape have probably done, unless they recently did it. But yes, I definitely remember having to like go across an edge that you wouldn't be able to surge past it. You can surge your way through the rest of it though, except the agility obstacles. You won't just like smack into that thing. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen that cartoon that one guy on Twitter. I might put him in the description as well. He draws funny little cartoons. Like he always draws his characters wearing the old Knight is Not helm, and it is him surging into a tree. It's like, don't surge into trees.
Oh, is this the guy, the PUT guy, something?
Pristol. I think it's supposed to be the pretzel, but I don't think the pretzel spelled correctly was there.
Yeah, I know precisely what you mean. He was always wearing his prayer cape in the comics too, right?
Yes.
Yes,
cape. The prayer cape and like just like a t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah,
he does
a
lot of funny little comics that just take the piss out of me.
His latest one was great. The Raids one. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't. I saw the various different creatures that he had drawn for it, but I didn't see the actual Raids thing. I have to go check that out. That's probably really good.
The first, I got to tell you, it's 4 frames in the picture, and the first one is just the empty, like, arena in Raids for Beastmaster Dursag, and it's just empty. And then you see President in the second one running in from the left with his sword, like, charging, and his yak is just after him, full packed with food and everything. And the third frame is empty, the same as the first one.
I can see where this is going.
Fourth one is Pretzel running from the right with Beastmaster Dursag and his pets and Yakamaru flying above them, with Pretzel carrying on his back his yak, full packed with food. And saying, nope. Basically, and then you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about your reaction at Rots.
Yeah, because the nope thing. I mean, that's just a GIF of an octopus running away from something, and it just says nope. That's what I said. They literally asked me like, "Hey, do you want to go to Rots?" And I just
no.
It took me way too long to find the actual GIF because a lot of the things I found on Google Images were just stills. I was like, that doesn't really get it across, though, does it? So I found it and just posted that, and it must have killed them. It must have been really funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Good up.
Yeah, that's how I feel about a lot of things, like with PVM. I didn't used to be that way though. I mean, I'd still go back to God Wars Dungeon, but that's not really the best money anymore. It's kind of sad. Like I used to do a lot of Nex when it was actually pretty decent money, but now it's like Nex is like not even. It's worth it to solo. It's worth it to even duo, but it's very even for like most people, it's difficult to duo. So yeah.
It's kind of not too hard if you got a good tank. You can quite efficiently do Nex. Especially if you got those new abilities, because then you can just basically kick her ass at Bloodface and use the other kick-ass abilities at Frozen Face And Saros is just, with thresholds and the proper tanking, no problem at all. The only problem is probably Ice and Bloodface, and those two, if you got a duel and got the new abilities, you can get some really, really good kill times.
Yep.
Yep.
So I think,
Even without the
I
new
think we've
abilities,
all
you're
covered. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I think we've all covered what we like doing on RuneScape. I think everybody has a general idea of what we do. Other than Stratek mentioned casually divination, but he's not so casual about liking divination. Like,
Maybe not.
9 times out of 10 that Shrey's on, you're probably, if you want to go find him in game, you can find him at the 95 divination spot. That's where he likes to hang out. That's where it's at, because he's going for 200 mil, which is
quite crazy.
Yes, well, you already has one. You already have 120. Why am I talking about you as if you aren't really just right there? That's kind of rude.
Yeah, I'm already 120. I got roughly 178 million right now. I'm planning to have 200. Yeah, 200 by probably mid-August, something like that. Maybe a little later than mid-August. So
And
yeah,
I have.
and I will have to find new goals. Probably going for some more PVM. Might go for final boss title.
Insane final boss.
Eventually, maybe, but that's far off. I might go for trimmed comp before that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, have fun. Although with Thalers and stuff, and I know they've lowered some Castle Wars requirements, but still, how many, like, that's so many chompy birds that you have to murder. How are you going to feel about
4,000,
murdering?
isn't it?
Something like that.
I think it's 4,000. I got a couple of
Yes.
enchanters for Chompy Bird's Foo, so it should be a little tiny bit easier. But comp, I mean, the Kosovo's thing, I would definitely go with Tailors for that. More variation, and
Yes,
I've got like non-golden Kosovo tickets anyway, so I might as well go for that one with Tailors.
And also have fun with ports if you don't already that's one thing that, like, I would never have to worry about comp for ports because I love ports. That's one of
I
my
love
favorite
ports
things
too.
to do.
I got the trim already for ports, so it's no problem.
I'm fairly sure I have as well.
That and
I'm
fish
like-
flingers thing I got for trimmed. Two quite long and annoying things done for trimmed there. I'm quite close to the Runespan Easting 1 thing too.
Yeah. So I don't mind the rune span. I was going for 99 rune crafting on my newbie account, but that kind of fell by the wayside eventually because I ran out of Babylon 5 to watch.
Oh,
That's basically the story behind it. I mean, I could just restart the cycle, just start again from season 1 and just rewatch the entire series. But it still hasn't been long enough yet for me to, like, not get bored of it. Because even, like, such a great... And by the way, anybody that likes any sci-fi, if you like Star Trek, if you like Star Wars, any sci-fi fans out there, watch Babylon 5 if you have not already. It's an older show, but it's incredibly well written. Cannot praise it enough. And now that we're talking about Babylon 5, I think it's time to wrap up. Is it?
I'm trying to listen for Armalion. Is he here?
Yeah,
I think
Ah, here
Paul
he
would
is.
have. Yes, the hangout would have ended if he left.
Yeah.
If he got disconnected, I think
yeah.
He's been so silent for like 5 minutes now.
he's a
Maybe
quiet
more
one.
than 5 minutes. I've been doing stuff.
Probably more than 5 minutes. You're doing
What
stuff?
have you been up to? What have you been up to this whole time Shrey and I were talking?
Wandering around Nemai Forest, getting my Gopi reputation up.
That's good.
Ah,
That's good.
that's always fun.
I need to do more Mascow stuff. I will
I
do
haven't-
that once I got back into combat properly.
I
Well,
haven't
it's
done
It's
worth
worth doing every day, even if you don't like raids, because, well, you get a house, you get a pet, and That 5,000 is really valuable because you get a reroll on all boss fights
That's nice.
when you get it.
So you'll
I mean,
like
if you're
that
doing it
40
now,
hour.
if
So
you
you mean
have
that
5,000 later on, that's yeah.
Yeah.
So if you hit the 48-hour thing, you can re-roll that again, is what you're saying.
Basically, you get a double chance at getting codexes and armor pieces, from what I understand.
So if raids are not exactly your thing, is it still worth it, even just for that pet? Because that thing is like the most ridiculously adorable thing of all time.
No, that's
Yeah,
Chikara. Just so you
it's
know.
it's a bit
Oh,
below that, but I mean, it's still a cool thing.
Or
yeah.
or the what's his name again? Dawn. That's the cutest pet ever. Just saying.
Obviously. um, but yeah, you get a house at 1,500 or something, 1,750, which is nice to have in case Mascot gets more expansions in the future.
It will.
It will with the
I mean,
quest.
we know it gets the quest, but like, we're currently in Village Otot, and who knows what else is gonna
I'm
come
sure.
around there.
I'm sure we will see more bosses too, and then we will have to expand it. So I'm quite sure we will be
They,
seeing
what
some
they,
more
what I've,
expansions.
sorry, I keep trying to start while somebody else is talking. That's called interrupting. That's a thing I need to work on not doing so much.
Yep.
Because because as soon as
Just being
someone
honest.
starts
It's good if
saying
you're
something, I
honest.
think of a thought to interject in, and it's just I can't help myself sometimes though. And I actually lost that thought anyway, so that was
Congratulations.
just totally pointless.
All right.
So what
We
did you
all
want to
have our.
say? You lost it?
Oh yeah, I lost it. I lost it like
Rip.
5 points ago.
Rip.
Ah, rip. Oh, God. There's a rip in something. It better not be in the universe again. We've had this conversation before. I'm pretty sure you were around for it. But somebody kept saying rip, and I have to go fix a rip in the universe. Go mend that thing. Where is it?
I meant.
Oh, it's the rip is in somebody's boxers. So if you're listening, you should probably check your underwear because it might have a rip in it. Just friendly advice. Or it's in some article of clothing. I don't know necessarily that it is in anybody's underwear, but if you have clothing, you should check it because it might have a rip in it, and you probably have to throw it out. All right.
Now everyone is well informed about that.
News at 11.
Yep.
I'm lagging like crazy. You got the Macarena line going at Living Rock Caverns at the minute. That fun
Sounds
little
fun.
thing. Yeah. That's all I've been doing, and I have no idea when I'm actually going to get 120 fishing. I'll know more when I get closer to it.
You will get there eventually.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like, eventually I'll run out of porters. It seems like I never will, but I've seen it drop, below 3,000 now. And I'm closer to 2,500, and I've been at it for about like 3 weeks or so. I always do my aura too, so that'll probably push it even faster, so that I'll have to do less of whatever afterwards. It'll be good.
It'll be
It's
good.
possible. I see people with the 120 fishing cape, and I just think like someday, soon.
You can do it, Aviancy. We trust you. We believe in you.
Yay! I like having people believe in me. It's always fun. It's always a good time in here, in the Living Rock Caverns. I know you guys hate it. I don't know why. It's the best place ever.
I don't hate it. I just prefer if I do fishing
horrible.
myself, barbarian fishing.
I mean, I
It's
think
more
it's fine the
efficient.
idea of a cool, dangerous skilling area, but it's just evolved into the point of it being annoying, and it doesn't help that everything looks very plain, dull, and uninspired. Which, yeah, I'm sorry to say, but yeah, I don't like those creatures. It's just,
Well, for what it is, it's just a cave, a big cave with living rock monsters wandering around. Although they do look a little out of date. You know, maybe they could do with a slight little update to those things. But as far as like the floor and stuff and the water, like, you know, playing in high detail, like if you zoom or if you put your angle down as close to the floor as possible, you can see some pretty good reflection of water. So they did a good job with that at least.
Hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I
it
don't like
just
the
is what
place,
it is.
basically.
It's a wonderful place. You just need to give it another chance. You'll eventually love it. There's people down here, I'm sure, with 200 mil fishing, and they just stay here anyway.
Yeah.
I know of at least one person that actually has 200 mil fishing, and all they do is fish in living rock caverns. Yep.
I think we're
Okay,
about
so this is like the third ending now. This is Lord of the Rings, the podcast. Not really, because this has nothing to do with Lord of the Rings. But Return of the Chirpcast with like 5 fake endings. However,
Yay!
It's no ending.
I think it is time to say goodbye
It's
to the
never
internet
ending.
now. It'll just never end. We'll just still be here 24 hours later. I'll be like, I'm supposed to be going to work, but I don't care. I'm actually supposed to be coming back home from work, but I still don't care. So it's been fun. Hopefully we'll
fun.
get to do this again, you know, in a reasonable amount of time, and we might be able to start doing this with some regularity again. We'll see how that
Hopefully.
actually pans out. I mean, you know, hopefully ain't gonna cut it if we want like a big audience. You know, if we want to get like, you know, a few hundred subscribers, I
That'd
would
be
be
cool.
happy with that. But if we got to 1,000, I might do something special for everybody. But that's not a thing that I see happening immediately right away. Like everybody's gonna just come here.
It will be cool food. No
If we get
doubt.
shouted out by the right person, it would definitely help.
Yep.
It couldn't hurt. But yeah, I think that's about all for this. Will appear to be episode 2. The last time we were here was several months ago.
Yep.
It's just because of the way our schedules all work. The moon, planets, stars, galaxies, entire universe has to align right with our schedules. So yeah, the last
And we
time,
kind of forgot about it.
yes,
Yeah.
So until next time, internet. Have a good one. Bye. Much
Bye,
love.
internet.
Sure.
Birdie kisses.
Yeah. Feathery hugs.
Feathery hugs.